Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Oh my God, so great to be here. It's another day of Dreamhack Invitational action here. I'm ViewtifulCrow, back with my main man, Vincent. I'm so excited. We got some fun games for y'all today. Vincent, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Honestly, we had some real solid teams come through in the first qualifier, some upsets as well, and we've already had some upsets in the second qualifier kind of leading into today. So there's a lot happening, and the chances to get that ticket booked into the LAN finals it's right there, within grasp for most of these teams.
Literally right there in grass. And like you said, we are continuing on. I believe we're only going to be doing two best of threes today. Same thing as yesterday. Top four make it to land. That all important DreamHack land in Atlanta. It's going to be so much fun. Everybody's been fighting. Everybody's been going hard. It's been a very wonderful bracket with everybody that has signed up, and it's just they're almost there, right? They can taste it. Victory on the horizon. I do believe our first matchup is going to be Northwood University versus SFU Pink, which is actually interesting because both of these two teams have played each other recently.
Yeah, over in the NECC Legends division, it was just last week, and it was actually a huge upset. Realistically, SFU, they took the victory. It was 2-1 in fashion, but there's some key context that you need to know about that matchup, and that is that Darkest wasn't in for map 2 and map 3, the two maps that SFU were able to win to give them that victory. So a huge hit to the Northwood side, but a win is a win. Got to give SFU credit for taking advantage of that.
Absolutely. A win is a win. Hashtag we take those, all that jargon. But yeah, just getting into it. Okay, Darkest is starting for Northwood, I believe, this time around. So the Rock Lee training weights are off, and like, all right, no. Y'all might have kind of slipped it a little bit last time, but this time around, it's projected to be Northwood, taking it potentially just quick 2-0. If we do get 3 games, that'll be cool. But SFU Pink is really going to have to fight for it.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say that Northwood have continued to look very much not vulnerable would be maybe an oversell, but they look mortal in these last couple of matches that they've played, dropping a map to Rochester, who, I mean, let me just say, Rochester, a pretty good team. I mean, they're a solid enough squad, but not a team that you would expect to be taking maps off of Northwood. And so for that reason, the fact that they did win a map in the round of 32, just the last BO3 before this, is a little bit crazy. And so Northwood, even with the fact that they aren't missing Darkest, I think that though they are favored to win, this is a little bit interesting. Again, we are kind of seeing the first openings, the crumblings of what has been a Northwood dynasty. We saw the start of that last semester, and I think it's continuing here with changes made, and now into this semester where Northwood are still winning, but they're not winning as consistently or as dominantly.
Right, yeah, they're winning. Like you said, they do appear to be mortal. They don't look infallible as they used to be. But I do believe we're going into maps here in a second. But get
Yeah.
everything all done. And I mean, so if we're looking at maps here for Northwood specifically, advantageous situations. What's the first one you want to get? You know,
I'll be honest. I haven't seen a ton of like new of like the Logan version of Northwood with the change. So I'm not 100% certain what they're feeling the most confident on. I can tell you that Haven is usually a go-to, but they haven't played Haven at all this
at all,
tournament. The
right?
two BO3s prior to this, they've played Lotus twice. So I guess I mean Lotus kind of seems like a pretty good place to go. Granted, Rochester's they won Lotus up against the squad. So, but it kind of seems to be in the middle of the map pool. So SFU might be willing to go there as in addition to that. Outside of that, though, for the SFU side of things, I think they like a bit of Haven themselves. So somewhere in there, we're going to see Haven or Lotus. I'm nearly certain, maybe even both. As we jump into all of that information, we can take a look and see if that is a guarantee. There we are. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Still enjoying Haven is the answer to that question.
Yeah, definitely gonna go ahead and grab that Haven. Okay, I mean, look, we know they're good on it. We know we don't have to go into delegation. I'm really interested in SFU getting Lotus here. I mean, we know Lotus has kind of become like the premier 3-site map where like all the chaos goes on. There's so much happening, But like I respect the Breeze ban. I'm still a Breeze enjoyer. I know people have come at me in chat for that recently, but I
They
would
can
have
come at
liked
me too.
I,
They can come at me
I
too.
would have liked to see the Breeze. You know, it's kind of crazy right now.
I think realistically though, it makes a lot of sense here to see Haven
Yeah.
Lotus. Bind or Decider, it was, I mean, played in the opening series for Northwood, but I don't think we can take a lot from that. That was a 13-2 shellacking
13-2,
of the
yeah.
Nova Nighthawks. That was a, yeah. Let's just say the Nighthawks got 2 rounds total out of out of 2
Yeah.
maps played. So it's not exactly the greatest of stuff to look at for any real indications. At the same time, though, SFU I think are going to coming into this with a boosted confidence. I would hope, at the very least. Listen, we can say and we know that there is some significant question marks applied to that win that they got at NECC Legends. But if you're SFU, you just got to put that out of your mind and say, we would have beat him anyway. It doesn't matter.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you have to come into this with full confidence. Like, yeah, we got the win already, but we know we can do it again. There's no room for there's no room for doubt or denial in your ability. I mean, SFU Pink has also had, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 through the round of 32 getting to this point, right? So like they know they are strong enough to be here in this position. And like you said, they have beaten them, sure, a little bit of an asterisk, but it's very much a possibility that they can win this. Will it be a hard fought series? I absolutely think so. So we are getting into this very shortly.
Indeed, and there's been, just while we wait for things to get started, there has been some interesting outcomes here throughout this second qualifier. I mean, we saw Demigods last week in the first qualifier. Demigods out really early in this bracket, which is a bit crazy. Made it so deep before and expected to probably make their way through. I think it would be fair to say the second qualifier, but they're out, gone in the first round. Actually, there's some interesting games happening later or further down in these quarterfinals, or in the round of 16. Excuse me. Missouri Baptist getting the chance to prove themselves once again against a Harrisburg that hasn't looked the best, but has taken a victory against TMU Blue to get here. So there's a lot going on. And Fisher, I mean, come on, they're playing each other. Two good Fisher teams playing against each other for a shot at getting it through into the LAN finals. I think that's also kind of funny, also a little crazy.
I mean, look, when you show up in an invitational or in a qualifier with like 80 different teams, you're bound to get somebody through. Like, it's just, the law of quantity at that point, right? You're just, the
True.
more you throw at it, the more something is bound to stick. And I mean, that's generally what the plan looked to be here. But yeah, I mean, we expect to see somebody at least. Like, you put four teams in and one of them doesn't qualify, bro. Someone's gonna get a talking to.
Yeah. Converse MBG also looking pretty good. Victory over Waterloo Gold in the round of 32 matchup. They have to play against. Oh gosh, I don't know what this team is.
Conestoga.
Conestoga? Thanks, Adam. Adam, our producer, saving my life right there. That word is just gibberish to me.
It's okay.
I see, like, it's peanuts. I see want whenever I see that. It just doesn't happen.
Interestingly enough, Converse up to this point, all of their matches have had a 9 in them, number-wise. Interestingly, they were match 9 at the start. They were match 69.
Wait, really?
Yeah, they were match 9 at the start, then they were match 69 going forward, and then their last match against Waterloo Gold was match 99. I mean, they broke the curse this time because now they're going against Conestoga in match 114. But, like, that's got to be, I mean, look, is that a curse? Like, they don't have the 9th matchup. They don't have 119 or something. So maybe Conestoga could get an upset here. I don't know. Converse MBG, though, yeah, looking really good so far this tournament. It's just been a really great selection of schools and groups that have been really showing up here.
Yeah, I'd be really interested to see if Missouri Baptist kind of make their way through. I mean, like I said, they have Harrisburg to deal with, which, fair to say, they've had some difficulties early in the season, have Harrisburg. So I think that'll be fun to see. I would love to see that squad. They're a squad that had like a lot of question marks coming into the season because they didn't, to my knowledge, they didn't have a team, or at least not a team that was particularly relevant last semester, and now they've picked up some serious pieces from across the board. I think a couple of pieces from Blinn, a couple of pieces from Fisher, and then some other good pieces just kind of from the tier 3 space. So everything kind of looking good there. I'm excited to see what they bring. Other losses, by the way, Rutgers gone and out. They were a bit of a dark horse late into the season last semester, and unfortunately we had to say goodbye to them. The Fisher Ultra squad did end up beating them out, which, I mean, Rutgers, I feel like that Fisher team is really good, so it's an understandable loss, but I would have liked to see them make their way through a little further.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, literally anything could happen. Like, I mean, sure, we have like the data that says it's going to be textbook. Oh, these people are expected to make it through. Blah 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 blah. I mean, I think that kind of threw me off was Cumberland's falling to St. Clair. I was like, oh yeah, Cumberland's they're gonna be popping off. They're gonna be doing all right. I mean, strength of schedule was on their side for sure. St. Clair, they definitely shut up. It was a 2-1 series for sure. But man, like
Yeah.
insane.
St. Clair Academy, by the way.
Yeah, the Academy, yeah.
To clarify things, but yeah, and the other big like conversation point I think is UVA. I mean, make their way through Maryville. I mean, prior to that, I feel like UVA not necessarily like had the toughest run, but a big win up against Maryville. Now just have to overcome Ball State. That's another huge one where we could be seeing UVA making these moves and showing that they are a contender. They've already kind of shown that by taking a win here. And I mean, maybe this is debatable, but I would say Maryville are the tougher opponent out of them and Ball State.
Like, between them and Ball State, I mean,
by a pretty significant margin, at least in my opinion. You could argue with me.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like, oh wow, yeah, that's a fun one. Yeah, definitely Maryville. I mean, they're always, regardless of what title they're in, they're very respected in the scene, and like how strong their players are roster wise, and for UVA to get the underdog victory, so to speak, over them, and not have to get through Ball State, they just have to keep that up. Like 100% keep the form you had, bring that energy you had against Maryville into the match against Ball State, and look, you're looking to qualify. And
then finally, SGSU making their way through. At least I would say on paper should be beating Oklahoma. That is another one of these round of 16 matchups. I feel like we have like all very interesting,
very strong.
Like good is probably the wrong word because some of them are probably going to be sweeps, but very interesting round of 16 matchups right now because there's been a couple of those upsets. This being one of them, Oklahoma over West Virginia.
Yep.
West Virginia's been an interesting squad because they're always so fun because number one, they always do have some good performances, but in my experience, they've been very inconsistent, and so they'll win some games, and you'll be like, oh, okay, they're making their way through, and then they'll lose some games, and this is on the losing side of that. Oklahoma taking advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, now the talking is done. We are into Agent Select here. Like we said before, map number 1 for this will be Haven. We're gonna get into this as SFU. Yeah, they're looking to have a very strong control comp.
Yeah, and just to confirm everything, I think we already knew, or maybe we already said, but Darkest is obviously in here for Northwood. That is the key difference between that last couple of maps at NECC where SFU were able to find the victory, and today is having Darkest, who is absolutely such a dominant force on the initiator role on this map. It's crazy. If you see Darkest on this map not have, like, I'm gonna say plus 13 plus assists on on initiator, like, something's wrong. Something's gone horribly wrong if that doesn't happen. Even in a loss, that's how important Darkest is to this Northwood squad.
Yeah, literally the glue man that holds it all together for the squad is very much, like, you don't want to call him like a role player, but it's just the fact that he's so strong in multiple agents, but has such a pressure creating ability by himself as a player. Hopefully that breach is, I mean, on Haven, like, hello, how many walls do you have in this map? It's absolutely insane.
Indeed, we are going to get things locked in here as just to talk a little bit about this Sage comp that SFU are currently running. I didn't get a chance to see what which maps they played. at NECC. So I have no idea. I think they played Haven though, and I think they did play this comp, and I'm pretty sure that was one of the maps they won. Those are a lot of like question marks, but I can only work with what I can work with.
I'm working with what they give me right now, man. I totally understand that. But yeah, okay, going into this early, these first 3 rounds, right? I mean, the all-important pistol, of course, but how are we feeling? Like, what do we think the game plan? SFU starting off on attack. What game plan wise specifically? Who are we looking at to get things started off?
Well, I mean, I think individually, if that is a question, last time out, Kaho was playing really well, very consistently across the series. Individually, though, I feel like SFU, very strong team. Kane has been the guy to watch, also in-game leading the squad from the Astra on this side of it. So, tough to say, but starting out on the attack side isn't ideal for this composition, at least on paper, I feel.
Right, okay. Looks like a hard stack, towards that middle area. Not really giving too much away. Information has been gathered, though, by the side of Northwood. Ali's going to find out Kaho. Trade a little bit. Jumping right click, the classic special. Going to tag him for a little bit, not quite find the frag there. All the call has been made towards being a full rush by SFU Pink.
Logan doing some dodging there in the back of the site. Eventually goes down. Benji sticking around, and that wall gone up. Doesn't seem to matter to Benji, who's going to find 3 kills in that engagement. Just Kane left on the lurk, trying to bring this back 1v3.
I mean, I touched on it a little bit when they, saw each other earlier in the garage, but the right clicks from Benji at the classic, claiming everything in his kingdom, ending out with a 3K, I believe, to start off. And my goodness, just that's a one way to stop a plant.
Indeed, the attempt denied. Little miss there, by the way. Logan doing some nice movement against the Trailblazer. Trailblazer came in back B site, and I think Logan dashed away so that it missed him. He didn't get tagged up by it, didn't get stunned. That was pretty funny.
My man said, "No, miss me with all that. We got a game to win here."
That's right. Things to do, people to shoot. Nebula going up in the way of Ali, who is trying to gather information out towards C Long. The minute, there's a lot of, speaking of information, by the way, a lot of info being gathered for Northwood. They're deep into sewer right now at A, knowing that nobody is currently home. This Guardian at long range is fantastic in this position.
Yep. Oh, sees ahead, does not manage to click on it, though. Very, very worse for wear is Slayer. Also, with Glow dropped significantly low. I mean, they can, pop the heal, opts to do it for Slayer, keep his buddy alive, the initiating raise that will be going in, and Logan's still holding strong, but Slayer gets his revenge. The sheriff is in town. Lands one right between the eyes as look towards A for this push. Darkest now covering his boy's tracks that just fell. Looking to do the same. Yeah, he'll meet with 3, but Stu gonna take him out. This very low economy, round 4 SFU Pink starting to work off for them. Now it's down to a 3v3, so they have to carry it all the way through momentum. But Ali's there with the Marshall, gonna be banging him off from down range, and now it's just a 1v2. What was looking good for SFU Pink at the beginning turns to disaster. So Northwood strike back and put themselves at 2-0 early on.
That is kind of the tough part about the Guardian, right? Like, great weapon in a round like this if you can hit the headshots. But if you're missing even, by a slight margin as we were seeing, then you're in some trouble. Can't quite get there, and the overwhelm with the numbers advantage did give SFU Pink just a little bit of a chance. Of course, great way to close that round. Ali on the I think both of those might have been no scopes. Didn't see the first one, but it was absolutely fantastic on the Marshall. Here's the guns out for SFU, though, and we'll see how they change things up. Down by 2 early, no problem. Just got to get the gun rounds going.
Absolutely. Once they get the money in their pockets, buy up some more. But interesting, oh my God, we're on round 3, and Logan decides to whip out the op. That's kind of crazy. Ali will get a frag over to Kane. Looks like Seaside is the name of the game this time around. Benji. Rip Benji, no, rip the opposition, dropping 2 once again with that Sheriff being so accurate with those shots. And SFU Pink, they might just have to give this round because Northwood has their plan completely snuffed out.
Benji just been so critical in these first couple of rounds. The pistol round, now the bonus round. Huge plays being made, and 2v5, that, I mean, I would hesitate to call this winnable. Stu, position known, aftershock, everything being tossed at him. The end of the day, Kaho alone will try and do what they can from long, but that too is denied. Just the singular frag over there for SFU in what should have been a little bit of an easier round turned impossible.
Yeah, exactly. That's literally how I would put it. Should have been easy, turned into an impossibility. Northwood coming up 3. I mean, they had to fight for it a little bit more in round 2 for sure, but that third round was a bit more definitive when it looked like it should not have been. Kaho leading the charge as much as he can, but you're not seeing those like really good entry performances from Slayer getting off to the races, not being able to do so. And now they're going to try it again here for A. They've gone B, A, back to C, now back to A, just trying to make something work. But Logan, once again, hiding with us through the smoke. Bro, he had to go off of pure sound cues alone, or feelings off of that one. Takes one out, dashes back in, and SFU Pink are definitely going to be hurting for that.
Man, I was thinking, what a very precarious position for Logan to be in, right? If that Nebula goes down, suddenly has 3-4 players to contend with, and even just trying to take one shot and dash away isn't going to be free by any means. Instead, gets the shot through the Nebula. It's just things going bad there for SFU. Logan still locked and loaded on the site, ready for the swing out long. There's 2 players there, 2 coming up sewer with the spike in hand, and now 3 defenders for Northwood making their way through. Look at this preparation as they've got everybody ready to go. Dip tossing out a little bit of recon, trying to find anything, but that doesn't get any information. There's that first shot from Logan, though. Coming back for more. Not this time. Dip has his back, and it's essentially round done. Unless a couple of kills late can come through. It seems unlikely.
Yeah, Logan's been the judge, jury, and executioner of this round, making sure they don't get anything done. Dark is going to do some buddy hopping shenanigans, finish it off with the shouty. This is Northwood going up 4-0 over SFU Pink. Okay, so now what is... If you're in the SFU Pink camp right now, what are you yelling in these comms? Like, what are we talking about trying to get them back on the head? It's full rifles, full armor buys this time around, but they had to spend everything just to get this.
I mean, the reality is that, yeah, this being the gun round, this is the heavy spin, but listen, give themselves a chance to come away with a round victory, and getting that first one on the board, sometimes it is the biggest of those problems. With that being said, right now, I don't think we have seen any like huge issues from SFU. Just Northwood individually have been playing well. You talk about Logan getting that opening duel with the operator in the last round. Benji with a 3K and the pistol. Benji gets 2 critical kills on the Sheriff on C site in the bonus. Like, every time there's something that needs to happen, Northwood have someone doing just that.
Gotta get the steely blues of the Sova in there. You know, I want an artificial eye like that. Like, that'd be pretty cool, I guess.
Like a little bionic eye type of thing?
Yeah, just, you know. I love cyberpunk stuff all the time. Like, shout out Ghost in the Shell. Like, you know, shout out The Matrix. Making me think the future's going to be cool and not scary and tragic and with absorbent gas prices or anything like that, you know?
I'm down for the cyberpunk aesthetic. I think it's a lot of fun.
It's so dope. Like,
I would also I understand that there's probably reasons not to do this, but I would totally go to like some dude in like his basement who's got like, you know, one medical chair. I don't know what it's called, but and like, you know, just replace my eye so I could have like a interface to the internet or whatever, like inside my brain. That'd be so cool.
That'd be so dope.
I'm such a nerd.
That'd be so dope. Give me the augments. Come on.
Exactly. The like the crazy like strength stuff that I feel like that could definitely go wrong, but I just choose not to think about that.
Yeah,
Like make your arm metal and you could just crush anything
exactly.
with your hand.
It's a cross that bridge when we get to a type situation.
Yeah, it's like we're not going to be able to figure that out as it is. So, oh well. I just don't think about it.
Yeah.
Therefore, it can't.
It's not my problem. Exactly. I don't
Yeah.
think about it. Therefore, it is not my problem.
Exactly. Easy peasy. And, well, it's been easy for Northwood as we jump back into things. A little tech pause, by the way. Not sure who was having the difficulties, but we're right back in the action.
Yep, right back into it. Interestingly enough, I think the funniest thing is the fact that Logan is the bottom frag on his team, but has made so many impactful takedowns with this operator. And I'm just like, bro, like, they're lying to me. The scoreboard is literally lying to me, saying this man is not MVP of this entire thing. Speaking of, man gets another one. Oh my god. Kaho did not stand a chance there. As the look towards A, they're still gonna full send it down 4v5. Glow will get the plant off, but what is the answer back here? We know that the retakes from Northwood have been so good as dip. Yeah, they're gonna drop Slayer immediately. Kane waiting through the smoke, has to survive here. Dip out. You see, want to dip out, but see Dips standing up in heaven, hilariously enough, as Logan, whether it be the operator, whether it be the shorty, gets his man all the same, and it's all falling apart for SFU Pink here, as their hubris will be crushed under the might of Northwood's foot.
And just notice the patience, right there from Logan. Just waiting, just sitting. Doesn't need to make a commitment, because the entire time that he exists there, Kane or somebody else, in this case it was Kane, has to put their attention towards him or towards the possibility of him walking through that smoke. Waits for his teammate to get back in there and, well, at the end of the day, didn't need it. But that allows the rest of SFU to be a lot less proficient on the site. They don't have as many bodies or as many eyes to look the right directions. And so Northwood just being alive there, Logan, making the right plays.
Absolutely making the... I mean, honestly, it was just so wild. The man just walks up, switches to the operator, looks down. Oh, hello. Bam. Takes him out. Like, the scouting, just the wherewithal to be in these situations. He's standing in mid, in the courtyard, just saying, all right, whatever. I don't care. I dare you to step up. And Ali, however, will on the other side grab two. Goes for the third. Gets spun on. Stu managed to claim that, but he's stuck in the corner. Yeah, Dip's going to go in. Take him out. Logan, however, finally dropping Tukaho. Last one alive. 1v3. Not quick enough on the draw. I mean, it's this time that there was no spike to even be planted. It was just all raw action that SFU Pink opted into, and Northwood just stopped them.
6-0. It's starting to get a little bit dicey. Listen, understand, right? This is Northwood's map pick. Yeah. But we also know that SFU, they are a Haven enjoyer. And they've been playing some pretty good Haven throughout both this event and previous events. So I think it would be unfair to pretend as if SFU had no chance on this map or anything. They certainly do. I will say, again, compositionally, I don't know if this is really helping them on the attack per se.
Right.
Like, particularly that, like, the Sage makes things, I think, a little bit more difficult, especially the way that they're playing it, but
no
looks like the plant or won't.
No. Glow? Oh, okay. Surviving just a bit. Does get the plant down here. Now it's the back off. But no, I mean, that's one of the questions I did have in Agent Select when SFU Pink did this composition. I was like, defense-wise, they're going to be cool, for sure. But on attack, it's a little bit more difficult, and they have to survive, and they have not been surviving so far. It is a 6-0, looking to get at least one round on the board, as both Killjoy ultimates will be utilized.
Oh, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's no time. The defuse is just, it's right there.
Yeah. By the time that lockdown becomes a threat, the round's already done. The defense already win. Northwood already up to 7, and, well, a lack of real effectiveness from SFU on that ultimate. Not exactly the fault of Kaho by any means. But
for sure.
It is unfortunate, and that the lockdown battle does indeed go Northwood's way. And another round on the board. At this point, though, it's get what you can done on those types of rounds. Another purchase being made. Slayer was playing with the idea of a judge, but has put it away, gone for the rifle instead.
Yeah, I mean, it's that typical mindset, that duelist mindset, especially if Jet and Raze get on the judge, jump around, cause chaos, get some kills in the process. They need a more refined approach, unfortunately, if they're going to try and take something off Northwood right now. I mean, because last round was theirs to lose, right? They got the spike initiated, but they full had to back off of B and, try to counterpunch and, catch Northwood with their pants down. Unfortunately, they got the double XL super strong belts. Them jeans was tied up. There was no way you're getting through that. Northwood just stamped them out. It looks to be a similar situation as, once again, the spike is planted down on B. The rest of SFU Peak is not really there. They're going to use the Astra pull, to pull Darkest off of it, but they have to push even more. Glow sitting by the door here with the smokes, potentially able to make a play. Logan dashes onto him. Bro, what are you switching your guns for? Oh my God, will fall down. And that's SFU Pink once again unraveling. Somehow, though, some way they push it a little bit further. It is now a 1v2. Dip is dipping, dodging, ducking, diving out of there. Doesn't want any of these problems. And in the chaos that I said didn't need to happen, SFU pull a rabbit out of the hat.
That they do, and the chaos out in B's fight, that can be both a positive and a negative, right? On the one hand, it's tough to get everything going your way on that site, and so a lot of teams tend to avoid it outside of some very specific situations. That being said, in this case specifically, SFU using that chaos to their advantage and taking that space with now at least one round on the board, but a struggle to be sure throughout this map thus far. We'll see if they can put things together, build some momentum, and make themselves a little bit of a better attempt here. Okay, Dip, ambitious to say the least, grabbing that orb. Goes down immediately, and here's the push. It's fast towards A.
Yeah, oh yeah, they said, all right, we got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We're gonna push on to A. Their A sites earlier on in the game were successful when they got the plan, but everything after is where it fall apart. This time, however, opting to not immediately go for the plant, getting a few more catches, a few more picks out, is working in spades for SFU Pink. Now they can go for something unless Ali has his say about it. Up in heaven, being the angel of death, taken out two. It's a 1v2 situation. Slayer gets it down. Logan with the operator does get spotted, taking a few church shots. He's like, it's whatever. It's there, but the paint shell, yeah, that's a bit more dangerous, my man.
Well, I mean, you say not so dangerous, but now lacking in really any additional armor to work with. Those shields are gone, and a significant portion, about a quarter of the health. So a couple bullets don't matter, but a few more starts to get spicy. Kaho on the other side. Logan being heard, just has to run, has to get aggressive at this point, and Kaho will take him down. SFU Pink find themselves a second round and a very important one as well, getting their momentum going, finally breaking into this map for what feels like the first time.
Yep. The signs of life being shown, being able to stop the absolute ridiculous 7-0 snowball that was Northwood here, at least grabbing two back, hoping to get a bit more before the switch. 3 more chances before half, right? So definitely want to pad up this difference as much as possible so they don't have to think about the possible struggle once they side switch. Bro, Logan, are you kidding me? I'm just trying to finish my points. He just walks in and gets another op, goes for 2. Slayer quicker on the draw, though, so we'll be a 1-for-1 overall. It does look like A site might be the name of this. Is looking down the ramp. Yep, Dip's gonna take out Slayer now, so SFU Pink, I mean, slowing down the pace a bit, playing in the chaos paint just a tad, keep getting these picks left and right, but Northwood, they want to put a big halt to this.
I mean, losing 2 players, that certainly will put a bit of a pause on things. Trying to retake that space that was lost, and they have mostly done so. They have sewer control. Currently, there is just 1 lurk for SFU, but at Amanda's advantage, I think they better get moving here. Spike dropped. Continuation of that spray doesn't work out, but Darkest is not alone. And now, speaking of alone, Kaho feeling very much that way against 3 Northwood players. A tough task, to be sure.
Yep. 3 on there. Not everybody on the site. It is just going to be Benji and Dip, but the spike has been recovered. They haven't really moved in for anything. There's 15 seconds left, so Kaho will be able to get the plant off here. Should he go for it? Yeah, he's waiting for it. Okay, now they will rotate over. Dip once again taking spot in heaven. Looking for a lineup potentially. I mean, it's not unwinnable, but it's a little difficult. Kaho gets 1. Is he good for 2 and 3 though? That is the question. Turret has been taken down. Has alarm bot, but that's not going to help him out here. He has to pick his shots perfectly. Fortunately, not the case. It was looking little spicy there towards the end, but Benji and Ali will make sure that goes down swimming.
Yeah, did give Kaho a little bit of a chance there, able to isolate the duel out towards the jumping Sova from heaven, but despite that kill, indeed, good work from both Ali and Benji just playing together, making sure that they're double swinging in every situation. That's actually one of the things that I used to talk a lot about Northwood, is that those situations for Northwood, and there's been a lot of catch up over the last year and a half especially, where Northwood are no longer the only team that are doing this so well, but they are still really good at ensuring that they're always taking favorable duels, or when they're not, they're double swinging, making sure that when they have an advantage, that they're keeping it.
For sure, for sure. And they dropped it a little bit there towards the end of that last round, but snatching it back up. They saw the man advantage, so they weren't too worried about it. But whenever Northwood do get ahead, they put a stranglehold on you, you know? And oh my God, Slayer. Oh, you better run, boy. Nah, he's not getting.
My goodness.
He's not getting away from that. Actually, manages to for a bit, but I mean, the story of that is, yeah, Slayer survived, but Dip took out the rest of his squad, like, and then he just falls in the end of it. But oh my God, Dip, round MVP, 100%. The Hunter's Fury was hunting.
What incredibly quick communication that was. Dip getting the Hunter's Fury out in time to get 2 kills with the first bolt. I mean, that's incredible. That cuts this from what was nearly a huge advantage for SFU into an even scenario, 2-on-2. Now, granted, Spike is going to go down here at the C site. Chance to set up some post-plant utility. We'll get the alarm bot set and nano swarms put into position. And Logan going to wait a little bit before taking that space back, creating some question marks for SFU.
Yep, question marks indeed. I mean, after all of that heavy lifting, can Dip finish it out? And then Logan opting for weapon switches, I do believe. Yeah, Cloud Burst goes in. Kaho, you better shoot blind, but Kane in the corner, killing him softly with his song. Salvaging what looked like a lost round for SFU.
It certainly did. I mean, Dip doing so much heavy lifting with that Hunter's Fury, it's fair to say, but not anticipating Kane in the backside of the site, and understandably so. It's a 2-on-2. You would have expected at least somebody to be playing like the long-term post plant, considering that Kaho is still alive. Like,
right.
you got a Killjoy. Surely the Killjoy is playing the nano swarms. That wasn't the case. Both players on the site, and it was good enough to surprise Northwood, at least thus that they were unaware of that possibility. Should still have money here into the last round of this half. Straight out towards the seaside, it would seem. Cosmic Divide is up with the nano swarms, making it difficult to make their way in. And Darkest on the SMG, still good for those shots. Now, granted, will go down at the end of the day, but they're still not on the site. SFU have to make their way through.
Yeah, they have to push through. Both of them losing key members of their team for respective situations. Losing Darkest to hold down the defense, you know, using that breach util to their advantage as much as they can, but also SFU Pink losing Slayer for, you know, that great initiation potential is, oh my God, Logan lurking with the SMG. That stinger gonna sting to take down Kane. Now though, they're actually, okay, last round, might as well use it. Use the Sage Res to get someone back, and it is Kane. Stu going to take down Dip. SFU Pink, I told them they needed to step it up going into this before this half rears its ugly head, and they have been doing so in kind, but now it could all fall apart. As no, Logan not going to make it happen. Just like that, 3v2, SFU Pink on the push.
We're going to see the lockdown come in for SFU. That's going to delay this retake as long as possible, really. Ali Probably was thinking about using the From the Shadows in order to get into a bit of a different position, but that's tough considering that spot. And oh man, great wall into position. Finally seeing Glow have some high impact. That res, now the wall in the post plant, fantastic, and playing on top of it is even better. Glow with 3, and it's up to Benji for the 1v3. As 4 rounds is the name of the game for SFU. Seems unlikely, just 7 bullets, has to go for the reload, and this is already nearly done and dusted. Kaho will put it to bed. 8-4, good enough recovery for SFU Pink.
Yeah, he had to go into a beehive with a bunch of buzzing bees, and it wasn't going to happen, but very great job from SFU Pink being able to at least pull up 4 rounds before this swap. And now I think this is where we're going to see them better, their composition actually come alive, actually thrive. You know, I feel like they play better on defense with this specific comp than they do on attack. In Northwood, though, they're strong. I mean, this composition just strong in general. So now it's a matter of, can SFU pass Northwood in the strength department on this side switch?
We'll be seeing that. Northwood starting out looking very wide, spreading a net across the map, checking for aggression, and Slayer currently delivering. Trying to find something further. They pass like chips in the night, but they go down, does Slayer. And whilst that's happening, Logan finds not just 1, but 2 openers at the B site. Denial all across the board for SFU. They have just 1 man standing, and that's Sage doing what he can, but Glow, that's a tough ask with a classic in hand.
Okay, yep, it's all up to Glow here. Lone Wolf. Just got to survive a little bit. I mean, at this point, it's pistol, so you just got to do whatever you can. Try to take someone down, but unfortunately not going to be the case. Logan will be the one to seal the deal.
Two pistol rounds. 2 victories for Northwood. And that leads us into another second round where SFU, more likely than not, to be ecoing just a little bit in order to get that full buy into the third, which leaves Northwood some space to work with. We'll see a couple of those extra Guardians. And then from there, we'll see if SFU can do some damage like they did in the previous couple of rounds. SFU making their way over towards this A side. Good read of the situation. Well, okay, they were. There's currently just 2 players there. And Owl Drone comes in, and Logan will swing wide. Little shot through the edge of the wall to add insult to injury. This is the A side take, and it's pretty much over. Logan making their way in. 25 bullets in that Vandal. 3 kills in the first 18. SFU Pink will hope and pray that they can get a couple of exit frags maybe, but that's unlikely. Logan for the ace. Oh, possibility. Just gonna go for the sheriff? Yes, please. And Kane's on the other side. Don't want to give away a rifle, but just gonna take the space. Kane says no, denial. And we go through into this next round with Northwood up to double digits.
Okay. Yep, Northwood, the first to beat them to double digits here. Making it look I mean, it's so weird because we were talking about, it's like, SFU Pink, you know, this is their time, get that momentum back in their favor, but it literally just seems like Northwood decided, all right, let's quit playing, and just turned it up to another gear.
Field test.
We'll see if they can turn those gears a little bit more. Apply some pressure to Northwood where they haven't before. The Blade Storm, though, out into round 3. Massive advantage, but Logan up on top. Well, is he even going to get anything? Kane delivering multi-frags into the last round, and 3 already here from the back of the C site.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I was saying they need to play that. I need a hero. Kane is that hero of this round. Salvaging it for SFU Pink. Now 2v5, looking at a near flawless round for SFU Pink, and they can close this one out. Being down by 5 is a lot better than being down by 6. So I mean, hey, you know, trying to get that going. And it just, yeah, looks like Northwood's completely halted on what they want to try to do. They're looking to creep up C, but Kane is there looking for it, has 4, wants to go for the 5. We'll get healed up a little bit. That's going to be the ace for Kane, saving it for SFU Pink, pushing them a little bit more forward.
An ambitious play call from Northwood, and ambitious, maybe even the wrong word. It's just about making a very aggressive call early into the half, trying to entirely shut down SFU. A win there would have certainly put Northwood on the cusp of victory. So, try to play aggressive, make that happen. Doesn't work out so well. Props to Kane, who has been slowly but surely making these moves and become the main character here for SFU. I think as we continue forward in this map, Northwood should be able to still be buying. I didn't actually see, but they should have money. And they'll have full mid control almost immediately. No one was there for SFU at all.
Yeah, literally just like you see them shying away from it. Looking where everybody's grouped up on the map, it's just interesting to note, however, very interesting to note, however, the call towards C once again, kind of push there. We do see that Kaho is on the site. We'll try to play defense, running into the smoke, pops out, sees 1, trade 1 for 1, but now the rest of the team has to scatter. Look at them wrapping around through spawn. Look at them pulling through at opposite directions. I love that they will be able to do that, but they have to come up through C long now. Benchy will be on the watch. Slayer and Glow have to make this perfect. They have to time it perfect with Kane and with Glow to get this, on the table for SFU Pink to save it back. It's a 4v4. Have a little bit benefit of the Astral Wall from SFU Pink if they want to make something happen. Lurking though, wow, just like that, multiple bodies drop, but it's going all the way for Northwood, and now it's down to a 1v1. Don't think there's enough time to get everything done. He has to challenge this.
It's 2 different angles that Benji could be at. Hasn't given it away yet, and Benji swings perfectly. Able to take that with ease. 4v4 turns 1v1, but Northwood still ahead by a wide margin. It's a fantastic move. And SFU, yeah, they took all of that long control. They had 3 players there, but honestly, they had 3 players there for way too long. They had so much space at A, they needed to rotate somebody back over towards B or towards C in this case. And unfortunately, they just committed to that very long flank instead of going for the rotation back out and leaving somebody stuck up long. I think that maybe would have been the better call given the way that round ended up going.
Yeah, definitely something to look back on if you are SFU Pink. Now, once again, though, this time it's just a hard charge towards C. And Northwood's already on the site. SFU Pink very, very late to rotate, very, very late to answer. How do they even approach this? All angles are covered. Okay, they're opting to burn the Astral Divide. We'll go ahead and use that. And through the box, through the looking glass, Kane gets 1, but Dip roars and answers back. The Hunter's Fury clean as a whistle, puts it down to a 2v3. Northwood want to fight this. SFU Pink want to try and get it done, but through the smoke, Kane surviving for a little bit longer. It will not be near enough as Northwood going up to match point.
It looked good. From the start of that retake, SFU actually played that really well. Cosmic Divide up in front of the site not only cuts off the spike itself, but cuts off Logan, who has been in that back box position for a couple of rounds in a row now. Cuts him off. They isolate that duel. Great job. But the Hunter's Fury, once again, Dip so good at timing that so that in a moment where North would have lost the advantage, Dip will pull out that Hunter's Fury and make chaos for SFU, make it so difficult for them to have any sort of momentum continuing through. And that's what happens there. That kill and the tag as well. And now 1 round away from victory, Northwood. And up against a limited purchase. Not looking great for SFU on Northwood's map pick.
Yeah, I mean, we said they were Haven enthusiasts, and they've shown us why so far in the second half for sure. We did see Kyle manage to get that pick off, though. That does buy them some time. Stalls out the push from Northwood just a tad bit. But SFU Pink have to push a lot more. As the side is called towards A, There's only Kane here. I mean, he has been doing a lot of work for this team. Gets himself a dirty double from up on high. That was the spike holder as well. So we had said, I mean, it was a little bit of a hard market buy for SFUP coming into this round. They're making it work off of just 1, 2, 3 picks. And Northwood will rotate, and I mean, will finish the hard plant on A as Kane running down now, repositioning rather, trying to get this back in the favor of SFU. It's 5-on-2, bros. Theoretically, they should win this.
On paper, but the post plant can be tough. Ollie already isolating one dual dodge on the guiding light. Ollie needed that second frag, and now it's all up to Benji. 1, 2, not to be. Kane delivering 3. That's SFU holding back the tide of Northwood for one more round, up to 6.
Whew, okay, good job on Ollie to isolate that duel, but yeah, like you said, needed to get at least one more to make that a more favorable situation. Holding off. 6-round differential. SFU Pink now a bit more money in their pockets, going to go for a bit more of a hard rifle buy. Northwood, they're not too worried about money at this current moment. I mean, I will go, okay, Logan opting for the Bulldog Light, just so he can have something to save in the credits should things not go exactly to plan for Northwood. Round 19 as we're getting started here. It's still just game number 1. We have potentially 2 more, but this is definitely setting the complexion for the series, showing SFU Pink and NECC. They got that win, but this is a different beast of a team.
Early wall out from Glow. That's going to give them at least some sort of advantage in that aim duel at Sewer. And that maybe, I think with that engagement, Spike probably spotted off the back of that. A third player rotating. Yeah, certainly been seen at this juncture. The wall broken down. Sight hit coming forward. 3 here. Best case scenario for SFU. And Darkest Hill comes away with that kill. And despite his low HP, can put the Rolling Thunder into place. Showstopper to follow. But that defensively currently finds nothing at all. The delay works out beautifully as the lockdown catches just one. And the possibilities start to unfurl. SFU Pink have 2 remaining as they try to retake.
Okay, yeah, and Logan and all that Fraccar decides to updraft up. Papa's got a brand new bag, picks up the Vandal. Kaho through the box, tags, dip. And now the Defender Killjoy Ultimate will be used. This is going to force them out. This has to force Northwood to make some hard decisions. And Kane is totally ready to capitalize on that. Will be triggered. Yep, Benji has to run all the way to the backside. It's 2v1 situation. Pops one, but once again, Kane sitting up there. Angel of Death, done it before, does it again. Saves the game for SFU Pink.
1 round at a time. That's all that you got to think about. And in that one, Northwood had the advantage handedly this time. And they did lose out in the end. SFU, big congratulations to them for being able to bring that back, honestly. But there's still more work to be done. It's not over just yet. I do think that this is going to be a full buy as well. So, unfortunately, no easy rounds just yet for SFU. They haven't gotten a chance to have Northwood too heavily up against the wall with their economy low. It'll be rifles and all the Vandals actually coming out to play once more.
Okay. Yep, SFU Pink with 2 good ultimates to use here. I do like this, though. I mean, for defensive purposes, you know, having the Seekers is always clutch to, you know, get as much information as possible. And should they jump on to the site like they are looking at A, once again, Cosmic Divide come out very much in handy. We did manage to tag Logan for a lot. Not quite much to take him out. Benji will drop Glow, who actually, I mean, a very key player with that Sage. I want to say they were close to getting res as well, but it's pushed SFU in a very tricky situation. Having to huddle all in A with Slayer not even there on the site. Stu dropped down. That's Kaho gone as well. 2v4. It's 2v5, 1v5. Slayer was not with his team, able to provide backup when they needed him. That paint shell? What? Okay. Managed to take 1, but he has to fight a mountain of a battle, and it's not going to be enough. Not bring his climate shoes. That's going to be Northwood taking game number 1 in a pretty strong fashion, I might say.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think the final score line there was 13-7. But the reality is that Northwood, that was their map through and through. They were ahead of the curve throughout, and they had so many of those map points to work against. And SFU, there was some question marks for me, right? I mean, number one, I think that we didn't quite see the value from Glow on the stage. There was some moments where I was like, okay, this is working well. And in theory, it's good on that map defensively, but we just didn't quite see Glow have enough impact for me in that position. Granted, I don't think that's the reason that they lost. It certainly was a factor, and so as a little bit of an off-meta selection, I would have liked to see something more.
Yeah, I had written down in my notes, like at the beginning when they did pick the Sage, I'm like, I mean, we all talked about, we were literally like, Sage needs a rework. Like, she needs something new for her to make her more viable in this new current ecosystem of Valorant. And there were a few key revives that got used, and like some of the walls were very good at denying, but other than that, it just was not really, you weren't really seeing the value in the Sage. And also, a lot of the times from SFU Pink, with Slayer attempting to go for these flanks or just not being with the team altogether, literally costing them the game in that last round. It does beg the question, like what the comms were like what the planning was to be in a lot of these high pressure situations for SFU Pink and Northwood. It was what, 7 rounds to start, just bam, 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 win, 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 win. They look completely disjointed, and then like for them to turn it around and bring it those few that SFU got back was really good. But Northwood, just composition wise, seemed to make a lot more sense going into it.
That they did. Northwood making sense on paper and, well, making sense out on the server. They make their way through that first map. It's Lotus coming up next. We'll take a short break and bring you all the action when we come back.
Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so we just saw Northwood take game number 1 over SFU Pink in a relatively, I don't want to say like it was a stomp or like it was like a beat down, you know, but it was an expected result nonetheless of how it happened. But now we're going to Lotus for map number 2. This is SFU Pink's pick. So we're looking to show us some, you know, some strats that they've been working on. They're looking to show us why this pick is good for them. If I were SFU Pink, I mean, one of the biggest changes I'm looking for is like a more comprehensive composition that, like, you know, coherently it makes sense all the way through and through, both on attack and both on defense.
Yeah, I mean, there was an idea behind what they were going with. I don't think this is the first time SFU have run that type of composition, and in theory, I mean, and probably in practice in a lot of situations it works. But I think for it to be good, especially on attack, you have to get into the post plant, and we weren't seeing very many post plants pretty much for the first half of that game. So therefore, it didn't work. Once we got onto the defense, there were some good things to see. Unfortunately, it didn't end up working out. Northwood, a strong opposition, no matter how you slice it. So to see them lose out at the end of the day, again, not necessarily a surprise. But Lotus coming up next. This is a map that, hey, Northwood, they've lost this map today. They lost it 13-10 up against Rochester. So if there's a chance for them to bring this in, to have this map go their way, it is certainly there. That being said, as we jump towards agent selection, Lotus getting started, we'll see if it can be the time for SFU to repeat what they were able to do in NECC, or if the fact that Darkest is here will be the difference maker, as we have tended to expect.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the whole thing. I think one of the weirdest things about game number 1 is, like, I was expecting Darkest to, you know, really be a prominent, like, MVP of that game, being the difference maker for Northwood, and that just wasn't really the case. It was really a lot about Logan and Dip, especially playing the Sova and playing the Jet. Absolutely insane combination with how well they were doing. And coming into this game now, I mean, I do like the fact that SFU opting for, you know, the Viper KJ, being able to have as much control as possible across this 3-site map. Very, very good. And also Glow with the Omen, big fan.
Yeah, a little bit of an adjustment, right? Astra is what we saw before, but the Viper Omen is pretty well adjusted here. I feel like we don't always see the Viper every time, but it's almost a certainty. With that being said, it's pretty much a mirror matchup, and actually, yeah, it is a mirror matchup entirely. I was like, for some reason was thinking Logan going back to the Jet. No, sticking the race, and Slayer on the Raze as well. So, gauntlet set, SFU Pink, they are on a much more traditional composition for the map that they're playing, and they're finding themselves in a map number 2 scenario, must win. They've been here before, need a reverse sweep.
Yep, they do. They do need to win this one, and the decider on Bind to keep that qualification dream alive. Remember, it's just the top 4. You don't even have to win the whole thing. You just have to get to top 4 in order to move on to the LAN in DreamHack Atlanta later this winter. And like, it's all on the line here. Northwood, who have been playing very well, game number 1 definitely showed that they came to fight, they came to win. Both these two teams have had a pretty interesting day, run of the weekend, looking to push further just a bit more.
Trying to gather that root control right now are Northwood. They've got 3 players there. On the other side of things, SFU, full mound control themselves. There's 1 player to defend. That's going to be Benji over on the site. Stu spotting out Darkest on the jump spot, and Ollie swinging with him. Full control of C. Spike can go down, and that's great stuff from SFU, taking possession of the CT corridor there, ensuring that at least that space is theirs.
Yeah, absolutely. Capitalizing on the mistakes. C is the site of the fight. Gaho wrapping around through darkness. But Darkest will be the first on the draw, managing to take out Slayer. Low will try to return it. Logan is on the defuse. Somebody has to stop him, but there's not enough time. No pressure from SFU Pink to be applied. Northwood, they're going to get this pistol round pretty handedly.
Ollie once again on the pistols, right click on the classic, free gun by the way. Still very strong and showing exactly why, playing around that dark cover beautifully enough. Ollie will take 3 kills in that round, and Dip was given over the ult orb as well. So make sure to farm up that oh so effective Hunter's Fury that we've been seeing throughout. I think it was 2 or 3 different Hunter's Furies that were highly impactful.
Yes.
Rare to see 3 kills on a Hunter's Fury, and we saw that last map.
Yeah, made it look so easy how accurate he has been with that Sova ultimate. Okay. Showing up round 2. Kane gonna go ahead and grab himself a fancy little orb here in the mid area. The site is protected. It is scouted for potential. So it can go through rotating doors. C is also very stacked up. So this time, SFU Pink having to really think about their decision on what they want to hit, as Northwood has a wonderful defensive line set up.
SFU coming back to that root position here late into the round. They have the toxic screen put up to gather some of that information, or rather deny it from the opposition. Northwood, they had that control early. They've fallen away just a little bit as we approach that 40-second mark. It's time to make a decision, and decision seems to be made out towards A. For the time being, SFU Pink spotted, but not shot at just yet.
Yep. Oh, just a wall of green mist from both sides. This is a mirror match composition is getting underway. Logan, like, hey guys, they're here. They're knocking on the door. What do? We spin around. Tahoe, however, once again, so good on this sheriff as he has been this series. Will put in a favorable position for SFU Pink. Spike is planted once again. The retake situation. SFU Pink has been faltering in that department. And now you have to shore up those weaknesses and push onward as Kane just bullying his way onto the site. Takes out Darkest.
Benji left in the clutch, and Kaho turning the corner just in time. 3 kills on the Sheriff for Kaho. Absolutely stupendous. And SFU already looking better. A victory in their, I mean, not even a force. They didn't actually fully invest in that. That was mostly an eco, and it was Kaho to deliver multiple frags that allows for SFU the space to get onto that A site, and then the closer as well. Northwood left now with a similar situation. Do they go for the force? Do they save back in? It looks like they'll get sheriffs across the board, but should be enough to they've kept in their pockets. Always deadly with the sheriffs, though. Northwood never out of a round just based on the weaponry.
Yep. And of course, Darkest with that classic. Absolutely scary. The right-click jump master himself. Push in, but look at this. Okay, look at this call from SFU. Hard run, mad dash over to A. No one from Northwood was over here. They were not ready for this. I mean, they're going to go ahead, get site all taken care of. Now that Northwood has showed up, Kaho just now planting, maybe taking a little bit too long to, you know, put the spike down, but they're in a very, very strong position to defend this, hold this, make sure this retake does not come through. Oh, wow, it's a one-for-one trade to start it off. Saw that leg, got that ankle a little bit too much, not able to secure anything. Now the fight is 100% on. Benji gets one. Oh my god. You talk about, oh yeah, they're going to save here. Don't really need to, but they're opting to anyway. Those sheriffs paying off dividends. But when you're up against Kane, you got to make sure you don't fake nothing. I say do get the defuse, but man, they suffered a lot for it.
I mean, it doesn't matter though. They were saving. They weren't buying. Their econ there was beautiful regardless. Picking up a thrifty round like that, and it's Ali, by the way, that paranoia straight into the tree room right outside the door. That was so perfect. Ali ends up getting, I think, 2 assists off the back of that with the paranoia, and it allows for a couple of those kills to come through. Just the numbers advantage then can shine that way into victory for SFU now. They are, again, back on the back foot, though we've seen that they are already looking much better into this map than we saw them in the first.
Yeah, for sure. It has been a better look for SFU Pink. They seem to be more, they're more decisive. That's the biggest thing, right? It's the fact that they're more decisive and clear with their identity on how they want to play these sites. As, once again, A site is the name of the game. Benji will take one out, but gets traded back immediately. Kane with the plant. Stop for a minute, gets tagged. Darkest doing some denying. Let's see what else they can get done. Okay. Good. It's 2 now. Oh my god, they're stopping him completely for planning. He has plenty of time. But now he has to survive this dip. So accurate with those 100 shooters. We talked about it last game. We're talking about it this game. Oh my goodness.
So now with the man advantage, Kaho cutting it down to just 3 aside, and with Glow collecting a frag of his own, this has now turned things on their head. Ollie, paranoia right in there, but Kaho still good to work with, playing around the shots, and even with the bot in place, Ollie trying to do what he can, unsuccessfully. The A site, SFU Pink, coming away with the victory. Phenomenally played in that 3-on-3 Glow, and Kaho delivering big time.
Oh yeah, like I really love Kaho's positioning for a lot of that last map, just being a nuisance where he needed to be, and it's sitting at the top of the board. So hey, I mean, hey, he's clearly, you know, the game is agreeing with me in this situation, but like I wanted to touch on it again, the absolute decisiveness and clarity that SFU Pink is playing with on this Lotus pick, on their map pick. Makes sense for them to have that ability. And Northwood, who had lost on this map earlier in the day, seemed to be struggling a bit to, you know, keep a lead, because once again, we're tied. It's early on, 2-2 for sure, but they seem to be struggling a bit.
It's also really interesting that Northwood, considering it's SFU's pick, should have gotten the decision on which side to start on, and they chose to start defensively, typically known as a bit of an attacker-sided map, and
yeah,
that is an interesting decision, I think, to be fair. But the opening pick does go Northwood's way in a round where they are lacking in weaponry. Once again, they find some success, and the space that Ali currently has, allowing for what is actually a 4-stack to just chill at the B site.
Yep, okay, they're gonna burn the Killjoy ultimate early. That lockdown is in place, gonna dissuade them from trying to approach this C site with any reckless abandon. Kane sitting downwind. get some knowledge. He's actually going to back off and regroup with his team. I do like that. I mean, he didn't have to try and go for a challenge, but ooh, wow. Whoa, gets spotted out. He says that they're here knocking on the door, spins around, gets one, flashing as many as he can. SFU goes for broke, goes for more. Unfortunately, will end it with the 3K, but luckily does have backup, putting it at a 1v3. Kane single-handedly might have just won them this round.
Yeah, heroic plays. Kane making sure that, yeah, Nico, as I mentioned, but SFU would have been in trouble. If Kane goes down there, that's all of mound control lost, and Northwood would have had an upgrade onto a rifle and so much space to contend with. It would have been very difficult, I think, and a lot more loss of life probably for SFU. They just lose 2, and the spike will go off, meaning a lead for SFU finally taking shape.
Finally. Yes. I mean, yeah, it just goes back to, the beginning of Northwood deciding to start defense on this map that, they haven't been the strongest on today. And SFU Pink being like, okay, are you sure about this? And playing as a strong unit, the communication feels like it's been on point. Kaho sitting so rich right now. 6K credits even after spending? Okay, man.
Standing ahead.
Oh, Darkest
No
caught
way.
in the open. Nice flash there. The guiding light tossed through the toxic orb, and it catches Darkest entirely as he tries to get away. That's one of the controllers down.
Yeah,
that's a
not
huge
ready.
loss in the opening stages of a round.
Just simply not ready for it, and SFU Pink gonna make him pay for it. And I love this. They get the pick on A, force a little bit of communication saying, hey, they're gonna commit. Look at this rotate towards C. The setup is all there. Benji is there, has lockdown available. If he gets the slightest notification that multiple members are here, you best believe he's more inclined to just go ahead and drop that down. It's okay, yeah, charging on the site, looking to clear. He's going to take somebody out. Benji will sneakily back off. The rocket was fired in his direction, correct direction, but it's just... yeah, SFU Pink muscling their way on the site, and there it is.
Yeah, defensive lockdown. Going to be taken out there by the paint shells, perfectly placed up over the top. And the 4v5
No way.
retake now getting activated. Time to go. Dark cover goes out. They've got to move their way through it. No chance to hold station. Paint shells
man.
back the other way. Slayer has to move around from the shadows. Denied, but Logan shots connect, and now this is 3 players left outside towards Mound in the open. There's pressure from the door. Glow isolated, taken out, and Logan continuing to multi-frag. 3 kills now, and Ali's the one to deal with the rest of this push. No way, though, to get this defuse. Ali trying desperately with a shrouded step to get back into the site, but goes down to the spike anyway. 4-2 SFU. They are on the roll.
Yeah, they're on the roll now, and that's really great for them to be able to deny the defuse just by causing a ruckus out there by Mound. Up the rotating door, trying to get the picks, making sure that they don't... Northwood trying to make sure they don't get back onto the site. But, bro, you should have been worrying about the site itself. SFU Pink causing enough noise and getting enough done, bringing it down to a 1v1, and there's just no time to defuse. So SFU Pink doing a good job, really keeping this ball rolling, and they're being rewarded for it.
SFU have also done a great job of consistently putting some presence out a day, and not just presence, but denying the utility that's come down from the Sova. Dip specifically has been putting a recon bolt out at a rubble early, and so that's been denied almost every round by SFU. Now they can do that early, and from there, North would have to either fight more aggressively for that control, or they have to give it up. And in this case, they're currently doing a little bit of fighting. Ollie's over there. He's been on top of Rubble a lot of times, but I don't think they've really spotted him in that position all too often. So he still feels confident just chilling there.
Yeah, honestly, it's a pretty good point to be had, just chilling up there. But okay, the wall has been called. Seeker's also going to be invested here by SFU. Oh, wow, Logan will spot this. They've hit C the past few times. This time they were Northwood was a little bit ready for it. Look at the plant off, does SFU. The retake, it's a 4v4. Not impossible for SFU Pink to win this out this round.
No key ultimates, though. I mean, From the Shadows is available for Glow, but that's not that high-value ultimate on the retake that you would have thought. Kane, only one actually committed to this site, getting pushed from multiple angles. Great double swing as Benji takes him out. Benji continuing to find success as Paranoid Glow falls by the wayside. Benji for 3 as he does go down, but a thrifty round is the name of the game. That's 2 of the 3 Northwood rounds. 1 on a half buy.
Yeah, and okay, so like the ending to this round was very much a repeat of what happened in the one prior, but on its head, it went to Northwood, and I do feel just that was all down to the fact that Kane was not able to get anything going when he was on site trying to defend it. He was not able to get a pick to fall back to the rest of his team. He was not able to, you know, disrupt anything. The Seekers were taken out very, very early, and so that just allowed Northwood to, you know, calmly and collectedly take down the other members of SFU Peak, not even another win. And now they have 3 really great ultimates on their side to use in this round or any upcoming.
Early engagements out towards A. Going a little bit worse for wear this time. Nearly got caught, did SFU, but they'll regroup in that direction. They currently just have Ollie to deal with if they do push that direction. And there's a double up at the B side. Actually, 3 there now. Trailblazer goes out, and it's going to get a little bit of info. Paranoia straight through, and Hunter's Fury goes into position as well. But this time, it's lacking the efficacy that we typically see. Some damage done, but Ollie finds none. Puts Dip into a tough spot, rotating back in.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like that was the perfect setup for Northwood to make something happen, and it was just all goose eggs with everything. Logan, however, with the showstopper, will manage to get something back for them, and now, what's the call? What's the plan? It looks like going towards B. Yes, Kane will go ahead and plant. Darkus, though, investing that Viper's Pit. Well, no, actually didn't decide to. Okay, now he will. Yeah, he staggered the usage of it, waiting for his team to get near him so they could, you know, finish off this play. But it's going to be causing SFU Peak to play a little bit differently. Kane on site, looking up, looking large, gets 1. He's looking for Darkus. Gonna miss out on that. Stu, however, trying to claim it, finish this off for the team, prevent the defuse. 1 HP because of the decay. It's such a scary situation, and he's gonna be listening for it. There's 2 members there, and yeah, Benji's gonna stick the defuse. There's no time to stop him. Oh my God! There is literally last few moments. Just stall. Just stall. All you have to do, and he stalled enough. Stu saving it for SFU Pink when it should have been decisive for Northwood.
Just 1 2-bullet spray there. I think 3 total, and he hits the head. Precisely what was needed. Northwood, that was their round. They played it correctly, but just a hero play coming through from Stu to deliver in the 1v3 early into that 1v2 at the end of the day. Massive round, a turning point potentially as Northwood. They did invest heavily. Remember, showstopper early in that round, Hunter's Fury, as well as the Viper's Pit. It was all gone into that as the B site wide open. Rotation from Dip coming through C-Link, but at the minute, nobody's here to deny the plant, and the Viper's Pit for SFU goes down.
Oh my God. Bet the whole house on the play, and you completely crash and burn on it. Northwood, now they're having to regroup and recover. It's the Viper's Pit from SFU Pink. Kane doing a lot of work here. Stu, the absolute savior, now has to stay alive as Darkus will get something through it. Peeks out the side, does Logan. Running around, and yeah, Glow does not see him in the corner, and it's still once again up to Stu, hiding in the muck. Not gonna make it work this time. And the fuse will go unchallenged. Northwood, after losing what, you know, a round that should have been theirs, make sure, get the insurance, definitively grab this one.
Another round they win without the best of weaponry. Sure, that was an investment in this case, but there was a couple of SMGs, I think a Stinger or 2 across that for Northwood, and again, they come out on top. It's been SFU the better in these gun rounds, but Northwood's prowess in the pistols and with the lesser buys that have kept them alive and kicking. Look at the defuses. Nothing put together more than one round at a time, but they've gotten enough of those rounds that it has kept them very even.
Blinded.
Absolutely. Sitting at a 4-5 here. It's a lot more even than, you know, the 7-round peak that Northwood had in game number 1 that the SFU peak had to go, and now we're fighting towards Mound again. Logan from on high is good for 3. Paint Shells trying to make it 4. Great ricochet. Kane limping away. And that is complete sight denial from Northwood.
A little bit of a different look, and Northwood, they do take advantage of that.
What?
Kane's toe swats the toes of Logan. They were exposed just under the dark cover, and that gives Kane the space he needs to take those shots. Well, towards A was the plan of action, but the spike going to stay in Kane's hands, and they'll think about B instead. Kaho is here, but that should give the information away. SFU Pink, they at least have some knowledge of where at least one of these players is located.
Yeah, now it's just a matter of how patient can you be, how much can you get done. Kane only with 13 HP. We know he's actually been pretty crazy getting these lurks off, but looking in the right direction as all major kids are backing right into the hands of Ali, who is there. And take out the one remaining member, Kaho. Not long for this world at all. No time to defuse, and yeah, Dip's gonna help out, assist with that cleanup. Now we're all tied up here, 5-5. SFU Pink, they're still fighting hard, but Northwood are starting to bite back and claw into this.
Competitive half, and on the defensive side, I think you could already say relatively successful for Northwood. Winning 5 rounds is just fine. Not a huge advantage the attacker side typically gets, but, you know, 7-5 would be, I think, probably pretty average. I don't know what the actual average is, but...
Numbers!
Probably something along those lines.
Okay, starting off very early. Looks like the meeting of the minds will happen here. Does not... I mean, yeah, I see the pings come out towards A-Link as everybody's hiding through here. Okay, Showstopper is opted to be used by Logan. He's been sitting on it for a minute. Looking for somebody. Stu!
2 HP!
Oh, he's gone. Yeah, no. Will be found out. Ali, good for 2 as Slayer tried to go for challenge and immediately gets taken out. And that calls for the rotate over. Yep, it's Glow. It's Kane running over to C, but the waiting arms of Dip and of Darkest are all there. The Seekers will allow them to get some information out.
3 for 3.
Dip will fall in all of that. Now, okay, Seaside running on. Darkest still fighting valiantly. Puts it to at least a 2v3 before the plant can get down.
Spike planted.
Northwood still man advantage, and Kane now cut off position in this lockdown, really making life miserable for SFU. Kane and Kaho, they have nowhere to run but out and away. They can't really fight aggressively. Logan knows exactly what's happening, and Ali from the flank make sure that that round goes Northwood's way. Great usage of the lockdown at the end of it. And Northwood taking that space over at A to open the round was so perfect. I mean, how do you expect Ollie to be there? Ollie is walking into the paint shells that his teammate has thrown in order to get that kill on Stu, and then still gets another frag whilst getting damage from the paint shells.
Right, I mean, literally had no business being able to flank that deep and just made it look so clean, playing essentially fearless, you know? Like, he knows that his team has done enough damage to the point where he just needs to be the follow-up man. He needs to be the cleaner, you know? And that's exactly what Ali has been majority of times in this game. If he hasn't started anything, he has absolutely finished them. And that's netted Northwood enough to pull ahead here last round before the half.
Time to go for Slayer. A little bit of a showstopper out onto the A site. Nobody currently home, though. The fast flank upcoming for Northwood. They'll get the plant down. But holding on to this position has been difficult throughout. SFU
You should run.
5-on-5. There's the lockdown, though. That should delay things a little bit.
Okay, yeah, absolutely it will, but it will not delay Ali from getting his marks. Taking out 2 in this instance, dropping them down solo. 2v5, no detain, and they're just going to run right in. I loved that shot. Shout out to observers. You just see Northwood swarming in like a pack of dogs. Smell blood to go to this site. Tahoe from up high, gets 1, gets 2, goes for 3. Unfortunately, Darkest will not make it, not allow it to be so. There's not too much time to really get the defuse. All Kane has to do is stall. He has to get past Darkest. He does stop it. He does manage to buy enough time, and that's going to be a clutch coming out because of Kane.
Very close indeed. Kane delivering multiple times throughout this series. Does it again there in the clutch, and man, Kaho Kane, 2v5, and they come away with it. Might not have survived, but that's not a problem, especially in the last round of the half, where they were going down anyway. A very competitive half from SFU Pink. But hey, Here's the reality. Now Northwood on the somewhat preferable side.
Yes.
And a dangerous place for Northwood to be. You're going to have to see a little bit more from, I think, the Duelists of Slayer. That's like number one, kind of, to me, where we haven't quite seen Slayer get activated in that duelist role as you typically would, and I think that is something that needs to change into this next half.
Yeah, and this is going to be a real test for SFU Pink. Like, they need to be able to deny these pushes from Northwood, as well as, I mean, the retakes have been all right, on Northwood's side here. But SFU Pink playing more backside-wise. Kaho actually going to take out Vinci here very, very early on. I'm just a little bit worried for SFU Pink because Northwood shows that if they are able to take one pick, whether that be through the crazy flanks of Ali or Dip's insane accuracy, they will just immediately jump on you.
This is fantastic map control in the early round for SFU. And they've put themselves in a position to win this. Kaho on a 3rd kill already, isolated by Darkest and Co. And so Darkest and Dip will have to play for the retake of their own spike. Defuse happening, and Slayer, I don't think, can be denied.
Nope.
Will not be denied. Darkest ends up getting a kill eventually, but the shock darts don't connect, and SFU Pink have the pistol round. Their first of this series, but a massive win to give them back the lead.
Yeah, it took them a moment to really get all said and done, but Kaho, that first initial pick was really good, and for him to get everything else after that just ensured SFU Pink for that win. But it was really close there. It came down to Slayer having, Prozo fake, stick the defuse, blah, 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 don't worry, we got you. Believing in a team to cover him to be able to get that defuse off, and that nets SFU Pink our entry win for this second half, and still so many questions to go, but we got some we got some time.
Yeah, in that last round, SFU, they immediately took mound control, and they consistently were playing. They were able to play for that, then pinched in towards pillars. That got them that opening pick, and then they could retake from wherever they wanted. Northwood did all the right things in order to retake areas, but it wasn't enough. Just really good play from SFU. They gave them that pistol win. Now Northwood unopposed on the A site. We'll get the plant down. But retake was great last time. We'll see if SFU can repeat.
Yep, okay. Logan lurking, though. Hiding in the corner. A side is a little bit of a party. All he has to do is play patiently. All he has to do is wait out the storm just a little bit for his team to arrive. Darkest is there. Gonna drop Viper's Pit off to that frag. Oh, he spotted him. Logan knows. Manages to get one before he falls. 2v3 at the end of the day. Vinci hiding through the smoke. Runs right into Stu, who will get the better of him. Jumping around will not be enough. Stu on a rampage, getting 2. The time to defuse is there, and this will be SFU Pink. Hey, we said we needed to see how these retakes, these post plants go. Baby, they are doing just fine.
That they are. Got scary, though, to be fair. Northwood getting themselves into a really good post plant and popping down the Viper's Pit. That's a ambitious play. But that is insanity. I don't even know how he had the Viper's Pit.
For real, I think, okay, I want to say he grabbed ult orbs, both ult orbs, and then what is his KDA at? Yeah, 13-9. He got some... Oh,
he had 3 in the pistol.
He had 3 in pistols.
So that's 4.
4.
That's 4, but
4.
How That's not. It's seven. It's 7
Wait, hold
points,
on.
right? For Viper's Pit, I think it's 7.
Is it 7? Is it 7 or 9?
Oh, it's 9.
now.
I forgot
It's
they
9 now.
changed that.
Yeah, they
What?
changed it to 9.
Holy,
So that means he had to get.
bruh.
Oh my God! How many kills was Darkus wrapping up?
He had to have gotten 2 kills.
In that
I don't
round.
understand.
The math is we're trying to math it out, but oh my God, like that's crazy. Yeah, because like I noticed you put down the ult. I'm like, wait, we're very early into this.
I honestly forgot that it's 9 now, and I was like, okay, that's really great, but it's just like 7 or whatever. It's not that big a deal. No, it is. Look at Stu. Stu's on 3.
Oh my God, Stu. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm like. Stu, how does Stu only have 3 points? Darkus, tell me your secrets, because that's actually insane. The dark magic's going there. Not working enough in Northwood's favor is to play a little peekaboo. Kane on the defense gets Logan through it all anyway. Slayer, very, very good dip. Been so accurate with those martial shots, even blinded, but will fall. And yeah, that's a cleanup. The fuse. SFU Pink on their map pick on this side switch are showing up very, very well.
I will say there's some concern for me. I understand SFU just won 3 rounds, but they're playing really passive.
Yeah.
Like, they're taking a lot of risks in the early rounds. I mean, I'm thinking back to the pistol, so I understand why they were playing passive today on the pistol, but they had players at C there, and they just let Northwood have the site. And the same thing happened today. They just stacked towards the other sites a little bit earlier, and so they are leaving a lot of openings, our SFU. And that hasn't been a problem yet, but I have concerns.
I can see that. Yeah, definitely they are taking a few more risks than I'd like them to. But 100% I do feel like they are playing better on this half than they were on the first half. And that is just, it's just very evident.
So that's another round where SFU, they take a lot of space today, put 3 over there early. And so a passive play towards the C site as they'll just play for the retake. Falling all the way back is Kaho. And so the spike can go down. This is where I think things for Northwood in post plants with full rifles, they're good with pistols, and we saw that already. All those rounds were close. Now they have full guns. Even scarier for SFU.
Oh yeah, full rifles, everything there. Who's the dog will alert some sort of decision. Slayer, perfect paint shell usage actually. Ali, clean up. This is a very chaotic fight on C. Everyone's dropping left, right, center, and on the ceiling as well. SFU Pink now, man disadvantage. They've been in it before. Not too crazy about it. Slayer managed to get 1, but cannot shoot 2 people across him at the same time. Northwood finally getting back on the board here after SFU Pink with a little bit of a tear.
Yeah, 3 rounds in a row, but 3 fantastic retakes in a row as well. And
Right.
Northwood finally stopped that momentum, and they were able to defend against that retake. By the way, mentioned Slayer needing to step up. Has been doing so. 3 kills in the last round wasn't quite enough to win them the round, but a valiant effort nonetheless. And SFU Pink looking better than ever. Let's see the early stages of this round. It's that fast mound play that they've been going for.
Yes.
And there's, again, nobody on A here. Northwood are going to find that nobody's home, and this will be the site for free.
Yeah, Kaho's racing to get over there because he had an inkling. I don't know if he heard a sound cue or something, but he literally, just as soon as the gates dropped, hustled from B all the way over to A. And he will be here about the same time as the rest of Northwood.
Well, that's unfortunate, Miss Smoke.
Look, it happens to the best of us. I'm going to be honest. My smoke lineups, they're not that great. But, I mean, hey, you can do it. Kaho will drop the lockdown. It's in a weird spot, though. Can it get destroyed right here? It does, yes. Logan shooting a Kobe, getting that paint shell in to swing the knockdown. Oh, no. Swing for the heavens, indeed. Logan, good for another. Just like that, 2v4. Ali and Benji will claim Kaho. Glow, last one alive. 1v3 through the smoke. Taps it, but yeah, that's a bait out to some darts. Gotta pull some fancy footwork and some hard shenanigans to get this going. No time to defuse unless he gets all these kills right now. Will not happen. Northwood stopping the
Benji might
momentum.
die. Yeah, Benji goes down. Unfortunate, but Yeah, like I said, Northwood with the full weapons against the retake, it's very difficult. It's a whole different story. And even with the lesser weapons, they were super strong. So that's why I was a little bit concerned for SFU and the way that they were approaching things. And this is not to be overly critical of the strategy here for SFU. It's not a bad strategy at all. And they clearly understand this by the way that they're playing it. It has some openings, and if Northwood pick correctly, they can definitely take advantage of those. And currently, they are picking correctly often.
Yeah, and I mean the past two, swings from A to C, it's really just been a lack of SFU coverage. There's them not, and I don't want to say like anticipating wholeheartedly that Northwood's only going to go B or C. Not just to leave A open like that was a little bit of a misstep, but definitely came back to bite them as we are seeing them. See now A again. Oh, wow. Wow, Slayer letting it rip. Actually gets a frag off of that, takes down Logan. Very good one. So many colors on the screen right now. Looking at it all, the lockdown is there, and will it
catch them both?
It does, yeah, it does get both of them. And Darkest gonna take a sweet time, clean it up, tie it up. Oh my god, that was so hectic. Like I just talked about how SFU Pink needed to have some presence on A or somewhere near A to answer these pushes that Northwood had been doing, and that is exactly what happened.
I mean, the fight, the dash towards trying to deal with that lockdown was the key. They couldn't get there in time. There was so many players to contend with. In Northwood, they put everybody into defending that. They didn't have anyone else doing anything else. They weren't worried about that long side of the push at all in that engagement. Finally, we're going to see a bit of a different look. Over towards the C site this time. And great counter flash. The guiding light doesn't catch Logan, but the trade does. And so with the information now in their hands, Northwood running back to the A site. They'll even get from the shadows to get into the door and through tree. Kaho falling all the way back. Was actually committed to the site, but chose just to give it up. They'll wait for the retake with the whole team.
Yep, and oh wow, Dark is watching the door. Great job in there, taking out one. Globe will fall. 4v3, not necessarily unwinnable for SFU Pink, but they got to try real hard as Kaho does get spotted again. Tagged out. He has to run. He has to dart back. Wait for the rest of the team to pop in, and the shot's not going to be great enough, unfortunately. Benji will claim that. So now, 3 members down. SFU Pink losing all of them, and Ali, once again, the cleaner, cleaning it up. Now that's going to be Northwood first to double digits.
And this is what I was worried about. SFU, they're playing their own game, and I got a lot of respect for that. But Northwood, they were clearly ready for this. From the beginning, the way they were posturing on this attack side, it was about choosing the right place to play and choosing the right site where there wasn't anybody, or at least there was a lack of players there. SFU playing this more stacky style is super reasonable, but it's not working because Northwood, they're gathering information early, and if they don't see the right look at a site, or if they don't see any information at a site, they might know that, hey, nobody's here.
Yep. Okay, coming into this round, one thing I did notice when you were taking a look at the two economy, both Vipers are 1 point away from Viper's Pit. I do believe that's going to be very key in this round or the next one. All it takes is one frag or an orb with the stalking or death. Yeah, which whatever happens first.
Not the preferable way.
So we are looking hard towards C here. All bundled up. Stu has a very good read on this, or at least a feeling or an inkling. We drop the orb
and the reason why they can rotate this third player over, they have full control over at A. Do SFU. They have all of Rubble and they have Root.
Yep, okay. Walk into it. Help has been called over. The dart is there. Benji gets the swing on Kaho, who was there to back up his buddy. That will be... Oh, wow, they actually took down Dip and got Logan. They dropped the spike here. Now they just have to finish it off. The patience from SFU Pink being rewarded. Yeah, and there it is at 1 point. Darkest going to go ahead and throw down the pit. Stu is gone, so no answer back available. Put some swarm grenades on to dissuade, to defuse should it happen. SFU Pink playing with fire. really got to make sure they stick everything perfectly here.
How
Wait,
is Ollie alive?
What? He's defusing? Oh my god. Okay, has to stop for just a few moments. Trying to go back through it. Ali sitting in the muck, very much there, shooting through, and he gets 3. Absolutely insane clutch up from Northwood, making sure they stick that round and get it into 11.
Are you kidding me? Ollie spraying wildly. The fact that Glow got the half, I think that could have been the it factor.
Yeah.
It could have changed it for SFU, and he was just milliseconds away as Ollie spraying wildly gets both of those kills. How can this happen? That spray from Ollie, round and game, match even winning if they close it here. Northwood up to 11. They have really not won any of these clutch scenarios. It's been SFU that have been great in the clutch this map, and it's right when it's needed that Northwood could find their clutch gene.
Yeah, and awkwardly, SFU Pink hard commit the Viper's Pit over to C site when it's been repeatedly shown that Northwood want to hit A in this half.
Well, it's effective in dissuading the C hit. They could rotate everybody towards A. Logan about to be under pressure, but actually, they don't check him. Dropping down, Kane dispatched. It's SFU falling apart. 12, almost a certainty with Stu. Stinger, not good enough.
Oh my goodness. The break for SFU Pink, very much evident here is Northwood, after, salvaging what should have been a lost round for them, just get a flawless the next one because of SFU Pink just completely sending it. And it's just so sad to see because SFU were doing so well, right? Majority of this game, we did have those doubts coming in the second half. Triple retake the fuse was really looking good, but then every single step after that did not go their way. And Northwood, they're happy camp.
Gotta be loving it. I'm loving it. We're all loving it. SFU, probably not loving it.
Probably not.
Trying to reset yourself after a loss like that in the last 2 rounds. Got to be a tough one. Northwood, though, on the warpath. See? Seems likely. Guard cover put into position by the attackers, and the lockdown comes through as well. Kaho, how long do you want to stick around? Well, till right about then.
Yeah. Okay, he's going to drop off.
Won't get away?
No? Wow. Yeah, he gets detained. It's a free plant. They're not going to go, hunting for him. So he will survive here. They just wanted the plant. They just want to make sure they get that plant, and they know they can fight off these retakes like they have been. Logan popping up through the smoke, through the ash, gets 2 before he falls. 3v3. No, what? Dip, are you kidding? Oh my god! Are you kidding me, Dip? Clutching it up when it matters most. Northwood taking it 2-0 over SFU Pink. I guess Darkest did make a difference.
Darkest absolutely makes a difference, always does. This team is fantastic with him, and, well, not quite as much so without him. With that being said, I think just overall, we saw just a fantastic Northwood game plan coming into this. Like, they were clearly looking to, and I think based on what we saw there, it was clear that the reason that they chose to start on the defense. I think they wanted to kind of see what they had to deal with, and they felt that they were maybe stronger on the defense because of how much difficulty they had in the early stages against the defensive prowess of SFU. But they had a game plan going in. They executed that game plan to perfection, and once they got the weaponry to utilize, they didn't have any real issues. Yeah, some crazy clutch moments, but overall, I don't think they lost a round after those opening 3.
After those opening 3, they literally just went on a tear. Well, I want to say we can check that because I think we brought it. Yeah, because it ended 9-13.
Yeah, I think it was 13-9. I'm like 90% sure. I'm bad at remembering numbers.
It's cool. It happens. I get it. I'm the same way.
We just watched the game, and I should know, but I.
You're right. We literally were just there and we were forgetting, but it happens. But no, very insane, just